Hi there, it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com here with the wrap-up video for our mono-white soldiers. I did pretty well. The deck is running pretty good. The Preeminent Captain is kind of iffy. I think you'd want some more impactful cards with Preeminent Captain. Unfortunately, it does not trigger with the Preeminent Captain into Preeminent Captain or Preeminent Captain to Brimas, so it makes both of these cards a little bit weaker to kind of chain off each other. Precinct Captain is good with Preeminent Captain. I wish we had some other card that when it dealt combat damage, it did something, because I think that's very powerful with Preeminent Captain. Brave the Elements worked wonders in this deck. Not a whole lot of changes I would make. Maybe just take out a Heliod. Again, the sideboard is just really up in the air. You can put a ton of different cards in there. Even pacifisms are fine against the metagame. Enchantments are a little bit hostile to be an enchantment right now with Reclamation Sage, but other removal like Devouring Light would be a fine card to put in here too. But anyway, instead of focusing maybe on the wrap-up video, I'm going to show some other cards, some other soldier cards we can actually put in here. You can go with different routes, like a more aggressive route. If you splash in green, you have access to like Loxin and Hierarch. And let's see. Or not Loxin and Hierarch, sorry. We'll look at all the standard soldiers that we have available. But the one that I was thinking about utilizing was kind of a token strategy. You have like God Favors General that puts in a bunch of tokens. You can actually go heroics with like the Hero of Irios that puts, of course, +1/+1 counters, but there's a lot of interactions with like the Vanguard of Brimas. As far as heroic goes, just getting a ton of soldiers, because Vanguard puts in a 1/1 White Cat soldier token. You have Akron Crusader, the red card that puts in a 1/1 token. Let's just go down the mana cost here. Of course, Launch the Fleets puts in tokens, so you could actually go look at kind of a token strategy or a heroic strategy. Legion Loyalist is actually a soldier if you're going into the red. And again, Satyr Hoplite and Akron Crusader are one of those cards that work with the heroic strategy. You can go a life gain strategy with Johnny's Pridemate. And again, with the heroic, the Skyguard, Akron Skyguard is a soldier. But yeah, there's a lot of ways to generate tokens as well. Phalanx Leader puts +1/+1 counters on all your guys. I can see that pretty good with the token strategy. If I was going to go in the token strategy, I'd probably go into a blue version. And maybe we'll have to do that, a heroic blue, with of course, my favorite card in standard being the Hidden Strings. We could use Hidden Strings, Vanguard of Brimas, we have Phalanx Leader, we have some cool cards out of blue that kind of something like Battle-Wise Hoplite that help us scry. We'll check out the Battle-Wise Hoplite here. But the best card that we have in there that would help out would be the Battlefield Thaumaturge. Unfortunately, Battlefield Thaumaturge is a wizard, not a soldier, but being able to launch the fleet for free and make our heroic spells cost a lot less would allow us to cut down on maybe the pump spells like Spear of Heliod, Obelisk of Urd, and Hall of Triumph, and then go into more of the way that we're going to pump up our guys will be through the Phalanx Leader. There's also, if you go into red, you have cards like Annex and Siamede that is a soldier. That's another way to pump it up. I don't think you could really go into 3 colors. Daxos and Lettuce, there we go. There's the card that when it deals combat damage, I think that synergizes great with the Preeminent Captain. Loxin Smiter is a soldier, so is Vaishino First Blade. Both those aren't too shabby in an aggressive type deck. Akron Phalanx would be a nice card. It has a nice pump ability, but it probably is too undercosted for what you want to do in standard. Phantom General, there we go. There's a little pump that pumps up tokens, and you could cheat it in. But in this deck, I think you'd have a pretty well-rounded amount of creatures and tokens. So if you wanted a pump spell, you need both. But anyway, there's lots of options. Maybe it's a deck for another day. Another heroic flying lifelinker would work perfectly with Hidden Strings. I don't think the Fabled Hero actually is a soldier as well. It's not a knight, so we even have access to that. So that might be my next venture, is to going into a blue-white heroic. But anyway, other versions that I've seen, other people, they like to pair that with like Foundry Champion. Foundry Champion is one of the most expensive soldier tokens. It has pretty good synergy with Preeminent Captain because it's at least going to shock. If you attack with Preeminent Captain, you cheat in a Foundry Champion, it's going to do at least 2 damage. If you have other tokens out, it's going to do a lot more. So that's another card you could definitely consider putting in the deck. And Palisade Giant is a soldier, but its aggressive deck does not want it. Other than it, permanence you control is dealt to it. So against red, it could be a blowout, as you would absorb all the lightning strikes from then on out. Evangel of Heliod puts in soldier tokens, but is not a soldier herself. You have other cards like Fortress Cyclops. Unfortunately, again, it's not going to work with Preeminent Captain. It's not going to come in as a 6/3. It's only going to come in as a 3/3. Blaze Commando is kind of cool because if you're dealing instant or sorcery, it puts in soldiers, and it is a soldier. So again, another route you could go is the Flames of the Firebrand with the Blaze Commando, because you could put in, if you have the heroic guys, you actually split damage to, say, with the Flames of the Firebrand, it deals 3 damage divided any way you choose. You could actually target either any of the guys that produce tokens, and then the 1 damage will be counted as an instant or sorcery spell doing damage to an opponent, and you'd get 2/1/1 red-white hasters on the battlefield. So again, there's another way you can cheat that in, is with Preeminent Captain. But the other card, and then you have access, of course, to Assemble a Legion, which you could pump up through your various pumps. But usually Assemble a Legion, if you get it out and you wait a few turns, it's just going to overwhelm the game. So it's too slow in an aggro deck, and yeah, so there's better things. But the really cool interaction with Preeminent Captain is probably Spark Trooper. I've heard people say first turn Elvish Mystic, second turn Preeminent Captain, third turn attack with Preeminent Captain, flashing the Spark Trooper and attacking, you Boros Charm it and Gore Clan or Rampager it for the win. So, I mean, there is those type of decks, but we do have some options with especially red when you go into these soldiers. So I thought I'd at least take a look at that. Again, 2 other routes you could go. My suggestions would be the blue with hidden strings being a way to continue to get tons of soldiers out, or you could go a red-white heroic with natural just ways to, like Visceral First Blade. But even a Johnny's Chosen would be a decent target for like a heroic deck, as this basically says when it's targeted with an aura, you get a 2/2 cat, and it's more soldiers the merrier. But again, just want to show you there's lots of options with this deck. Rotation-wise, it gets hurt a lot just because Brave the Elements is such a pivotal card for this deck. You lose a Boros Elite, you lose a Dryad Militant, so you lose most of your 1-drops. What you do gain is 1-drops, is you do gain the Favored Hoplite, which would go into a heroic strategy. And a Shield Mate's not good, but usually you'll get at least 1 more soldier. There might be some other soldiers that I'm not even looking at here if I take down my quantity. So yeah, even against the gods, yeah, that's a soldier, a 2/1 hexproof. So lots and lots of options. Dauntless River Marshal, there's another card that would go nicely in the blue white soldier deck. But if you're looking to improve this deck, I'm sure there's a way to improve it just without a budget. I'd add some more Mutavaults. I think they're very good in this deck. And then again, I'd probably splash in one of the other 2 colors and then start running the Shocklands to give it a little more reach. If I rebuild this deck without a budget, I would probably go into the red for Spark Trooper. And then, of course, you have other access like Chain of the Rocks. It might not be bad for more removal. But I think Banishing Light is plenty. But again, yeah, red would be the way to go if I wasn't on a budget. Add some more Mutavaults, add some Sacred Foundries, add some of the new Painland, the reprinted Painland, the red-white Painland, and then just go from there. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this deck. Feel free to comment or in the comment section below or on the Gathering Magic page, or if you want to email me, my email is roguedeckbuilder@gmail.com with suggestions for this deck or any questions you have about this deck. If you haven't checked out my channel, please go check out my channel, YouTube/roguedeckbuilder. This has been Kevin with gatheringmagic.com. Thanks for watching.